So the non-genomic effects are actually independent of the glucocorticoid receptor and its transcriptional effects, but due to the direct binding of activated glucocorticoid receptor with other proteins or with the mRNA, example, the SRC kinase binds to inactive GR and it releases it is released when a glucocorticoid binds to the GR. So, this phosphorylates epidermal growth factor and displaces it from the receptor, and as a result there is reduced EGF activity and reduced synthesis of arachidonic acid. So, this is the comparison. This is the genomic effect and this is the non-genomic effect. Genomic effect, as we saw earlier, there is trans activation as well as trans repression. In non-genomic effects, it can either bind to the membrane bound glucocorticoid receptor. So, there is specific membrane bound glucocorticoid receptor dependent effects, or it can bind to specific cytoplasmic glucocorticoid receptor producing specific effects, or it can bind to non-specific glucocorticoid effects. There is no receptor involved, so directly affects transmembrane currents, phosphorylation events and calcium levels. So, the non-genomic effects are very rapid, whereas the genomic effects are slow or medium slow. So, these are differences between the genomic and non-genomic actions. The genomic mechanism takes hours to days for its action, whereas the non-genomic mechanism takes just several minutes. Mechanism of action is through genomic signaling, usually of transcription or gene expression, and in non-genomic mechanisms it bypasses the cell nucleus. So, a dose for genomic mechanism is required is very low, whereas for non-genomic mechanisms you need a higher dose of glucocorticoids, and efficacy is also more in the non-genomic system. Adverse effects are also more in the non-genomic system. So, these are the functions of the membrane bound glucocorticoid receptor. One is neuronal inhibition, second is spinogenesis. Example, estrogen increases spinofilin concentration and also increases cofilin phosphorylation. Glucocorticoid produces NMDR mediated increased cofilin phosphorylation, and spinogenesis is dependent on the MAP kinase, protein kinase A, precase pathways. So, the membrane bound glucocorticoid receptor also produces male territorial aggression mediated through the estrogen and glucocorticoids, and it also causes synergism with other rapid signaling pathways also mediated through estrogen and glucocorticoid. And glucocorticoid receptor has a special function, that is the aromatase, so that there is increased aromatase mRNA, increased aromatase activity and increased neuroestrogen. So, the metabolic fate of these hormones include cortisol, cortisone and 11-deoxycortisol, so that there is it is reduced by NADPH dependent dehydrogenases, can be conjugated with either glucuronide or sulfate, it becomes water soluble. So, one thing we have to keep in mind is that any process of removal of a hormone or any toxic material, a hormone is not a toxic material, but when present in under conditions where it is not required, it has a certain toxicity involved with it. So, under such conditions the body tends to convert your compound to something which has more polarity, so that it can easily be excreted through the aqueous system or the aqueous environment in your body. So, that is what we call as the phase 1 and the phase 2 metabolism that usually happens for drug metabolism. So, for hormones also this effect is there. So, where Initially, it is phase 1 system where it tries to add atoms or molecules which make the compound more polar in nature, and the phase 2 involves conjugation with other compounds so as to make it more polar. So this is what happens here. First it is reduced by NADPH dependent dehydrogenases and then conjugated with either glucuronide or sulfate so that it becomes more polar, more water soluble, and 70% of these conjugated steroids are either excreted in urine and 20% you can see it in feces, whereas the rest is excreted through skin. So the biological actions of the glucocorticoid includes lung maturation, cardiovascular hypertension or maintenance of cardiovascular hypertension, obesity or lipolysis of the adipose tissue, myopathy of the skeletal muscle, lipid and glucose homeostasis by the liver, osteoporosis caused by in the bones, and anti-inflammatory immunomodulatory actions of immune cells, anxiety and memory of the central nervous system. So these several different tissues are involved or affected by the glucocorticoids.